Are you able to marry or have children?
No, we are not allowed. That is why many times when we walk out there, female asks us to give a hug and shake hand and touch hand. We couldn't do it because it's not allowed. Plus, we didn't shower every day.
Hello, I want to say thank you so much for this walk. There are millions that are in unison with you all that share the same faith, different faiths, but we want to say thank you. We are grateful that you honored us by coming to Virginia Union University. I have one quick question. If there are any particular prayers that we might say in our daily to keep you covered, to keep you safe, to keep you healed, and to keep you strong between now and DC, please let us know what those are so that we can do that daily. And then a lighthearted question, when you get there, do you get to fly home or take it? Is somebody going to carry you home so you don't have to walk back? I'm just wondering.
Well, first of all, thank you for your thought. That's very thoughtful. Thinking of us every day. There's like you say, hundreds and millions of people are praying for us every day. That is love. That is really overwhelmed us. We have never expected that much people come in and then support this mission like that. But whenever you think of us, that is a lot of support already. But there's one thing that I would love to share, which all of us can do every day. And whenever you do that, we feel it. And then if I feel cold and I feel tired and I don't want to walk, it means that you don't do it. Every morning when you wake up, when our mind is still fresh and pure, okay? If we don't give our mind a job to do, it will pick up all the trash to chew it over and over. Our mind, this mind, like a monkey, is always jumping here and there. Trash means all those bad habits, all those unnecessary things in life, sadness, all the things that is not happy with your life, you name it. When we already encounter that in our daily life, it's always recorded in our mind. It will not go anywhere. It will just stay there and waiting for a time to pop up in your head. And so if we are not mindful, we will be overwhelmed with thoughts. When it's overwhelmed, we feel stress, anxiety, and depression. And so, if our mind is empty, have nothing to do, it always pick up all those bad things to think it over and over. It rarely think about the good things. That is the nature of the mind. And so, before it pick up all those trash, because I call those trash because they're not usable, those are just gonna drag us down every day. So give ourselves, give our mind a job to do before it use all those trash. By getting a piece of paper and a pen out, write out the statement, say, today is going to be my peaceful day. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Just write that down. Even if you already memorize it, you still have to get a paper and a pen, write it. When you use your hand and your mind at the same time, it gives you a lot of power. It reminds you a lot more. Okay, this will take time to practice, and you have to believe in that and you need to practice to believe in that. After you write that down, read it over and over with your eyes. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Just like that. And then finally, read it out loud with our mouth. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Okay, let's just not sidetrack. We are very easy to be sidetracked. That is not mindfulness. And this is something that we need to train ourselves, because we've been living in this world without mindfulness that he mentioned. And that is why we always react, and after we react, we suffer. Right? So after you write that down and then read it with our eyes, and then read it out loud with our mouth. Today is going to be my peaceful day. To tell the universe that today is going to be my peaceful day, so that no one in this world can mess that up. Just only me, which is ourselves. Only us can mess our days up, no one else. If they say something, if you're mindful, you take a deep breath, or you come back with this breath, this present moment right here and now, then you will not react. It means that your day will still be at peace. But when you are not mindful, when somebody says something, you react like that. And you messed up your day just like that. And so, when we do that, to tell the universe, today is going to be my peaceful day, imagine that all people in this country and around the world are doing the same thing over and over every day. What is going to happen? The whole world will be at peace. It's because the power of all the people together, not just our fellow monks. We cannot do this alone. Nor this much, we still cannot do this alone. But we have to have all the people in this nation and in this world to do it together. It's very simple, but very powerful. Because we've been spread hatred and anger to the universe every day. For many years, many generations. Is that right? And that is why we've been receiving so much sufferings, disasters, and everything. This is a time where we need to change, where we need to just spread loving kindness, compassion to the universe instead. If we all can do that, imagine all the people every morning just recite that, and then the universe touch it, receive it, will shower back down with love and kindness and compassion and peace. This world will be the better place for all beings to live. If you can do that every day, and all of us can do that every day, that is how you should walk this walk, and how you walk for yourself. We are not walking alone, because all the people now already support this mission. We are walking together, right, in spirit. And so, by practicing this, means that you are walking for your peace, for your own peace. Peace always begins from within ourselves first. We are not talking about peace out there. Don't talk about it, because no one can bring peace to the world. But we can bring peace out to our world, which is inside of us. We have our own world here. These need to be peace first. And then we have another, many worlds around us, which is our family. Right? That world also, those worlds also need to be happy and peace. And then spread out like that, step by step, family by family. And the whole world will flourish and bloom and flourish with peace. Yes, so today is going to be my peaceful day. And write that down, practice that, be mindful every day. After you write that down, and after you read it, after you announce it, and every day be mindful with everything you do. Just one thing at a time. Do not multitask anymore. That is very important. If you keep multitasking yourself, then you go back to your old days again. Because we don't have concentration. And concentration is something that we really need. Students, without concentration, can you do your work? Can you focus in study? Of course not. But you have a lot of stress. A lot of stress every day. When you try hard to finish your schoolwork, try to achieve your goal, and yet you keep failing and failing, and you keep forcing yourself to practice, to do your work every day and stay up late at night, and then just end up with a bunch of stress. So concentration is something that our students really need. And concentration will not come without practicing mindfulness. So I hope that we will stop to practice the mindfulness meditation, which is the breathing in and out by the nostril. That has been with us for a long time. Alright, thank you. May you all be well, be happy, and be peaceful. And thank you so much for allowing us to stay in this building, this school, university for tonight. It's cold out there. And so we are very grateful and thankful for all the support. Thank you so much.
We would like to invite the president of VUU and also our other president of VCU. Thank you.
Vulnerable Monk, you have certainly been a vulnerable guide to us today. We welcome you to Virginia Union University because we are a place that knows peace. We've been blessed to every day hear the bells of peace in the Van Tower that our symbol lights. We also have been blessed to welcome Dr. Martin Luther King when he talked about peace and Barclay Stevens to be a beacon of light and hope for the civil rights movement. And now your feet have walked here to bring us peace. Today will be my peaceful day. Would you allow us the opportunity to offer you this token? Oh, you gotten good at this one. I'd also like to introduce to you a friend, mentor, leader in this city, President Michael Rao, the president of Virginia Commonwealth University.
Thank you, sir.
Venerable Panakara, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of the good that you're spreading. Thank you so very much for reminding us of the essence of being human, bringing us back to where we need to be, reconnecting us with our own spirit. You're doing so much good. You have millions of followers for a reason, because we all want to be more pure and more connected to who we really are and who we really should be. We're so grateful to you, and we wish you well. We wish you good health, and we wish you all good so that you can continue to spread good to everyone else in the world. Your timing is just perfect. And I would also like to offer you this small token of peace, love, and wisdom. There we go. I feel bad for the wait. Well,
Yes.
thank you.
Well, on behalf of the Venerable monks and Waffle Peace team, we are very honored and thankful for your hospitality, and all those words are very meaningful. And we will continue this journey, and we will hope that we'll have more and more people joining this mission together, and it will not end in Washington, D.C. It will continue until the rest of our life, because this is something that we really need to practice every day. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for welcoming us. And we had a talk at the Capitol, at the City Hall earlier today already. And now we, with this community here in the universe, I feel like this is home. And we will have a great night tonight, and we will continue our journey for the day of 101 tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. And now let us all giving out the peace bracelet. These peace bracelets to remind us that you have met the Venerable monks who walk for peace. And so whenever you look at it, you know that you need to be more patient. You need to be more, to practice more.
In a world that often feels as though it is spinning off its axis, a world dominated by the relentless news cycle, the ping of notifications, and the ambient hum of anxiety, the image of a monk walking peacefully down a highway offers a startling counter-narrative. It is a visual paradox. Amidst the asphalt, the exhaust, and the rush of commerce, there is a slow, deliberate movement toward something invisible. When we encounter figures like Venerable Bhikkhu Panikkara and the monks of the Walk for Peace, we are often struck first by the physical austerity of their journey. We see the miles traversed, the exposure to the elements, and the strict discipline that governs their days, lives lived without the comforts of family, marriage, or even the simple reassurance of a hug. To the modern observer, this might look like hardship. Yet, if we listen closely to the wisdom carried in their steps, we realize that they are not the ones carrying the heavy load. We are. We carry the weight of a noise far louder than any highway traffic, the noise of our own unchecked minds. The pilgrimage, therefore, is not merely a physical trek from one city to another. It is an invitation for us to embark on a much more difficult journey, the journey from our heads to our hearts. It is a call to recognize that peace is not a treaty signed by nations, nor is it a final destination where we can retire and rest. Peace is a practice. It is a terrifyingly simple, radical commitment to the here and now. The monks walk to remind us that we, too, are travelers, often stumbling through our days, waiting for the world to become quiet so that we can finally be happy. But the secret they share is that the world will never be quiet. The silence we seek must be cultivated from within, grown in the rocky soil of our own consciousness, regardless of the chaos swirling around us. To begin this cultivation, we must first confront the gardener, or rather, the unruly creature that currently occupies the garden of our mind. There is a reason we feel exhausted even when we haven't moved from our desks, or why we feel depleted even after a full night's sleep. Our minds are rarely still. The ancient traditions compare the untrained mind to a monkey, incessantly jumping from branch to branch, screeching, restless, and unable to find a moment of pause. In our modern context, this monkey mind is not just active, it is a scavenger. Without a clear directive, without a job to do, the mind defaults to its lowest setting. It scours the landscape of our history and picks up trash. We all know this trash. It is the replayed argument from 3 years ago. It is the vague anxiety about a future that hasn't happened. It is the heavy sentiment of sadness we chew on simply because it is familiar. The mind records every slight, every failure, and every moment of dissatisfaction, storing them away in a vast, dark library, when we are not looking, when we are driving to work, washing dishes, or trying to fall asleep. The monkey pulls these records off the shelf and plays them. This is the mechanism of our suffering. We become overwhelmed not by the reality of the present moment, which is often quite manageable, but by the accumulated debris of the past and the phantom fears of the future. We allow our minds to become dumpsters for negativity, and then we wonder why we smell the stench of depression and stress. The lesson here is pivotal. The mind is a tool, and if we do not give it a noble task, it will find a destructive one. It will chew on the trash because that is what it knows how to do. To find peace, we must stage an intervention. We must give the monkey a new job. This intervention begins the moment we open our eyes. The transition from sleep to wakefulness is a sacred threshold, a fleeting moment when the mind is fresh, pure, and not yet burdened by the trash of the day. It is here, in this delicate silence, that we must plant our flag. The instruction is disarmingly simple, yet it requires a rigor that most of us have forgotten. We are asked to take a physical piece of paper and a pen, not a phone, not a laptop, but the analog tools of creation, and write down a single, binding vow. Today is going to be my peaceful day. This is not a passive wish. It is not a hope that the traffic will be light or that our colleagues will be kind. It is a declaration of intent. The act of writing it down is crucial. When we use our hand to form the words, we bridge the gap between the abstract thought and the physical world. We ground the intention in our bodies. Then, we must let our eyes drink in the sentence, reading it over and over until the visual imprint is stamped on our consciousness. Finally, we must speak it aloud. Today is going to be my peaceful day. We announce it to the walls of our bedroom, to the morning light, and to the universe itself. By doing this, we are setting a boundary. We are deciding the emotional weather of our own climate. In a culture that encourages us to be victims of circumstance, to say, "He ruined my day," or "This traffic is driving me crazy," this ritual restores our power. It is a realization that, ultimately, no one else holds the keys to our inner state. The world can throw obstacles in our path, but only we can decide to trip over them. When we ritualize this vow, we are arming ourselves. We are putting on a suit of armor not made of steel, but of mindfulness. We are telling the monkey mind, this is your job today. Your job is to protect this peace. However, the true test of this vow comes not in the quiet of the bedroom, but in the friction of the living world. It is easy to be peaceful when we are alone with a cup of tea. It is much harder when the reality of human interaction sets in. We all have buttons, and the world seems expert at pushing them. A rude comment, a dismissive email, a sudden change in plans. These are the sparks that usually ignite the powder keg of our temper. Without mindfulness, we are merely chemical reactions in skin suits. Stimulus meets reaction. Someone yells. We yell back. Something breaks. We break down. This reactive state is the opposite of freedom. It is a form of slavery to our environment. The practice of mindfulness introduces a gap between the match and the fuse. When the difficult moment arises, and it will, the person who has vowed, "Today is going to be my peaceful day," does not immediately snap. They pause. They return to the most fundamental anchor of existence, the breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils, we flood the system with a reminder of the present moment. In that breath, we realize that we have a choice. We can react, exploding in anger and effectively handing our peace over to someone else, allowing them to dictate our happiness. Or, we can respond, We can look at the situation with the clarity of a sky that has plenty of room for storms but remains untouched by them. This is the hard truth. When we react with anger or anxiety, we are the ones who suffer. The other person may walk away, but we are left holding the hot coal of our own rage. By taking a deep breath, we drop the coal. We honor the contract we signed with ourselves that morning. We realize that messing up our day is an inside job. No external force has the power to enter our internal sanctuary and rearrange the furniture unless we leave the door unlocked. Mindfulness is simply the act of standing guard at that door, greeting every visitor with compassion, but refusing to let the destructive ones move in. As we deepen this practice, we begin to see that protecting our peace requires a change in how we work and live. We live in a society that fetishizes multitasking. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor, convinced that if we juggle 5 tasks simultaneously, we are being productive. But the wisdom of the mindfulness tradition suggests that multitasking is actually a form of violence against the mind. It is the quickest way to summon the old days of stress, anxiety, and failure. When we fracture our attention, we fracture our spirit. We lose the ability to concentrate, and without concentration, we cannot truly learn, work, or love. Consider the student who tries to study while texting, watching a video, and worrying about a test. They are working hard, staying up late, pushing themselves to the brink, yet they feel like failures. They are exhausted not by the work, but by the mental friction of switching contexts thousands of times an hour. Peace demands that we relearn the art of doing one thing at a time. When we walk, we just walk. When we write, we just write. When we listen to a friend, we put the phone away and just listen. This, unitasking, is not just about efficiency, it is a spiritual act. It is a way of saying to the present moment, you are enough. It is a way of honoring the task before us with the full weight of our presence. When we stop dividing ourselves, we find that our stress levels plummet. The monkey mind settles down because it is fully engaged with the banana in front of it. Rather than scanning the jungle for threats, concentration is the gateway to tranquility. It restores the dignity of our labor and the depth of our leisure. By doing less at once, we actually achieve more, and we do so with a grace that leaves us energized rather than depleted. When we begin to live this way, waking with intention, pausing before reacting, and moving through our day with focused attention, something miraculous happens. The boundaries of the self begin to soften. We realize that this quest for peace is not a selfish endeavor. We cannot hoard peace. It is not a commodity to be stored in a private vault. By its very nature, peace radiates. The monk reminds us that we cannot bring peace to the world if we do not have peace within our world. The macrocosm reflects the microcosm. For generations, humanity has broadcasted a signal of hatred, greed, and anger into the universe. We have vibrated with the energy of conflict, and the universe, acting as a giant mirror, has reflected that suffering back to us in the form of wars, disasters, and societal fractures. We are caught in a feedback loop of our own making. But we have the power to change the signal. Imagine the kinetic energy of a single household where the parents have committed to a peaceful day. That energy touches the children, who take it to school, where it touches the teachers. Now, imagine a community. Imagine a nation. If millions of us woke up tomorrow and replaced the signal of anxiety with the signal of loving kindness, if we genuinely projected a wish for peace into the ether, the world would have no choice but to reshape itself. This is not magical thinking, it is social physics. Peace spreads through contagion just as effectively as panic. When we hold our peace in a traffic jam, we break the chain of road rage. When we respond to aggression with patience, we de-escalate a conflict that could have rippled outward for days. We are all broadcasters, transmitting a frequency every second. The walk for peace is a plea for us to change our frequency. It starts with the individual, expands to the family, and eventually wraps its arms around the globe. We are the instruments of the world's healing. Ultimately, this journey brings us to the realization that the Walk for Peace is not a specific event with a start and end date. It does not conclude when the monks reach Washington, D.C., nor does it end when we finish reading this essay. The walk is the rest of our lives. We are always on the pilgrimage. There will be days when we stumble, when the monkey mind takes over, when we react in anger, and when we forget our morning vow. That is part of being human. The goal is not perfection, the goal is return. We are given symbols, like the peace bracelets distributed by the monks, not as trophies, but as reminders. When we look at our wrists, or when we catch our reflection in the mirror, we are reminded to come back to the breath, to come back to patience, to come back to the knowledge that we are powerful creators of our own experience. We are not walking alone. We are accompanied by millions of others who are silently trying to be a little kinder, a little calmer, and a little more awake. The road stretches out before us, long and winding. It is paved with challenges, yes, but it is also lined with opportunities for profound joy. So, let us pick up our pens and write the script for tomorrow. Let us tame the monkey with the gentleness of a parent. Let us do one thing at a time with great love, and let us walk each other home, step by mindful step, knowing that every moment is a chance to start the journey all over again. Today is going to be a peaceful day, not because the world says so, but because we do.